If you are nervous and worried about multiple threats to your income and about a fast developing real estate market crash and recession, you should be, because you are right. And you need real information, not motivation or positive thinking. We are about to live through a distorted, difficult real estate market unlike anything I've seen in my past 30 years in the real estate business. Yet with enough similarities to several other times where there was massive agent income destruction that I've successfully navigated through. And I want you to know exactly what is coming and exactly what a real estate agent should be doing. You should be wondering, is it possible to make a high income as an agent in the middle of this totally screwed up, distorted housing market? Can you actually thrive and even raise your income in a maelstrom of constrained inventory, inflated prices, developing buyer fear, raging inflation, a coming recession, and a reversal of the job market to now massive layoffs and losses? No, you can't with ordinary methods. What gave agents big incomes during the recent boom with an ocean of money sloshing around will now fail them. But yes, you can create great success in unsuccessful times. You can have certainty in very uncertain times, and you can raise your income even while all around you, others' incomes dry up. I have 15 minutes of comments about this, but first, I want to tell you up front that I have worked with my top coaches to prepare a very special, new personal, private diagnostic and prescriptive coaching call addressing the crushing challenge racing towards real estate agents. And if you qualify, I'm going to offer you that call, entirely free of charge or obligation. Now, why would I do that? Why would I offer this free call? Well, not for the reasons you think. Let me explain. I have set aside 19 time slots over the next 45 days for these free consultation calls for agents that are not already working with me. So if what I have to say over the next 15 minutes makes sense to you, it will be essential to act immediately to arrange one of these confidential calls. Now, you have nothing to lose by staying with me here for the next 15 minutes, but I promise you, there's a lot to lose by not hearing what I have to say. Actually, once you hear this, you won't be able to unhear it. You may immediately think, hey, the last thing I want to do is suffer through a sales pitch by some fake coach on the phone, and I don't blame you. And I promise you, I won't subject you to that. And you may very well change your mind about being one of the 19 agents to secure one of these calls over the next few minutes. Now, I'm going to give you the reasons for being optimistic about the next 12, 24, and 36 months. For most agents, they're very unoptimistic times. But please be patient with a bit of ancient history here. I don't know, maybe you can win a free drink with this information at the next real estate conference. But in the United States, we began selling off real estate in May of 1880. This marks the starting point for land development and for the real estate industry as we know it, the industry that we're part of. From there, every 18 years, there were peaks in home and property values followed by a crash. So in 1836, sales peaked, followed by a depression. The 1854, 1869, 1888, and 1908 peaks were all followed by crashes. Real estate peaked again in 1926, followed closely by the Great Depression. For the first 144 years of real estate, this cycle has inserted itself over and over and over again. You can carry it forward from there. But what about right now? What about year 2023 and 2024 and 2025? And what about you? Quickly, a related question. How deep really is your understanding or the understanding of the huge tribe of people able to spell the word coach and make YouTube videos about real estate history, cycles, predictive signals, and the meaning of trends? How successful is their experience with prospering through prior market disruptions and recessions? Since Joe Biden's inauguration, $18 trillion of wealth has been erased in America, even as the housing bubble has been inflated. What is that going to lead to? Are you certain that you know? Are you certain one of the newly minted, flashy, loud coaches knows? Well, I'm certain that I know. And if you haven't recognized me yet, my name is Craig Proctor. And in brief, here are my actual relevant accomplishments. I was the #1 agent in the world for RE/MAX after having my real estate license for only 3 years. And I was one of the top 10 agents worldwide for the next 20 consecutive years. I was the Tom Brady of the RE/MAX League. Those years included 2 serious market disruptions and downturns that literally wiped out tens of thousands of agents, as well as mortgage brokers. Well, I didn't just survive, I thrived. I've mentored, coached, and consulted with thousands of agents, from those just beginning to seasoned veterans to top income pros, including guiding them through the 2008 financial crisis and the aftermath, always keeping them from being consumed by being busy. But busy with what? From being overworked, overwhelmed, confused, and burnt out, often raising their incomes at stunning speed without piling on more busyness to get it done. For example, I provided the strategies and the fail-safe clear certain system that took Joe Cox of Georgia from $0 when he started his real estate career in May of 2020 to over $1 million in GCI in just 20 months. Or Jason Clark from Ontario, Canada. When he started with me, about $100,000 a year in GCI. Last year, over $800,000. That's in 18 months, from $100,000 to $800K. Or how about Whitney Boland of Florida? Whitney was on the verge of quitting real estate in 2019. She said it just wasn't worth it. She was averaging about 12 to 20 transactions a year. I took her to over $750,000 in GCI last year, actually working less hours. Or Bertrand and Argy Dassault from Quebec, Canada. They were on the verge of bankruptcy when they met me in 2015. Last year, I helped them earn over $5 million in GCI. Or in the Greater Toronto Area, Peter Masuchin. His income when he met me was pretty good, $245,000. But last year, I helped him earn $740,000 in GCI. And importantly, I helped him restructure the way he's doing business so he can be sane and hyper-productive instead of insane and depressingly unproductive. This all happened within 24 months. Now, I could list hundreds and hundreds of more, but you guys get it. I am fully prepared to help you experience the thrill of what that kind of success looks like right now, no matter how difficult the market conditions are that may mystify most agents and most real estate coaches. Now, there's 5 things that I want you to know for certain about over the next 12 to 36 months. Thing number 1, there will be blood on the streets. Thousands of real estate agents, including successful ones, will be starved out of this business. It is getting tough out there fast. Thing number 2, the market as a whole is different. Regional markets and different price levels, they're all going to suffer a lot of disruption. There's going to be confused sellers and confused buyers requiring different and special methods of handling these situations. The effects of runaway inflation, interest hikes, and recession will make the Jimmy Carter recession look like a day at the beach. Thing number 3, this brutal thinning of the real estate herd will be a huge opportunity for you. When Napoleon Hill wrote that every adversity conceals opportunity, he was talking about exactly the situation that's coming at you right now. But it takes a very sharp eye to identify these opportunities. Thing number 4, I am ready with a reliable plan to adapt and succeed as we move through the sequence of situations. The time is now. The need to be in the know and prepared is urgent. If you will creatively get ahead of every challenge coming, I can assure you that the coming 12 to 36 months will be the best time for you in your entire real estate career. And I really mean this. Thing number 5, fortune usually favors the bold. If you have a deeply reasoned, well-organized plan of action, then you can be bold and confident and aggressive at the exact time that your competitors turn timid and anxious and freeze up. I have that plan of action for you. So why trust me to tell you the truth that no one else will? To see what is coming before it actually arrives and guide you in fast adapting. To find opportunity rather than be mired in depressing adversity. First, bluntly, I don't need your money. I certainly do not want it if I don't earn it. Without showing off, I can tell you that my wife, Catherine, and I, we have 2 very nice homes, one in Toronto and one in Florida. And I have a business that would thrive without even a single new client for years and years to come. And I've acquired considerable wealth over the years. In fact, when I saw this real estate storm that was developing over a year ago, I considered just retiring and relaxing at my beach house or on my boat while this war raged on. But it was my wife, Catherine, who talked me out of that. She actually kind of guilted me, as spouses will. She said that I was going to be needed right now over these next few years more than ever before. That the real estate agent and the real estate agent community that's been very good to me, that I kind of owe it. I owe my experience and my judgment and my leadership at this time. So, with a few requirements, I'm offering you an entirely free, no fee, no obligation, no pressure private consultation call for confidential diagnosis of your business and readiness for the coming crash and sequence of events that I predict, and to provide you some success prescriptions as well. Now, there's a limit to this. I'm only interrupting my normal business for 19 of these calls over the next 45 days. A second reason to trust me on this is I bring to the table an absolutely proven system, not a collection of random ideas. Most real estate agent coaching fails in one of these three ways. Number one, it's all about trying to motivate you to do more and more and more. More door knocking, more cold calling. You are whipped like a mule, and you're made to feel inadequate for not doing more and more. Number two, their coaching is disorganized, it's random. And number three, it's canned by one man's book. Every coach on my team is an active agent using my system to be a top 1% agent right now. They're going through the same changing market with you. They're not has-beens or never-beens, and they're not generic accountability coaches. They know, just as I do, exactly what to do next and next and next to succeed by system. So what happens after your call? Well, that's entirely up to you. If you decide you want to use my system as your own and be coached by a reliable guide during the coming tumult of challenges, and you're accepted, it will be on a safe, fully guaranteed, zero-risk basis. I will, as a baseline, guarantee to add at least $20,000 in GCI in the next 120 days on top of whatever you're making now, even against all of the adverse headwinds, or you pay me nothing. Okay? You'll make an extra $20,000 on top of whatever you're making now, guaranteed, or you pay nothing. But this is a possible relationship that's about a lot more than just money. It's about switching from an often overwhelming, often exhausting, often frustrating sales job masquerading as a business to you actually owning an income-generating machine, a true system that works for you, that frees you from dawn to dark, not having to jump every time your cell phone rings, from having your spouse and kids wishing you were in some other line of work, from being a high-income success, yet knowing deep down inside, it's as fragile as your next deal. And this is about getting you through the coming storms, catastrophic for many, safely and with good income intact. Now, I've worked closely with my senior coach who will conduct your personal call to make sure it's useful and beneficial to you, whether you and I ever do business together or not, and to make your call directly relevant to the coming sequence of market disruptions that I predicted, and to link it to your personal goals. Now, to arrange your call, all you have to do is click on the button somewhere on this page or the link and answer just a few qualifying questions. Pick an available date and time. Listen, success in real estate does not have to be difficult. When I started, I struggled, and I quickly rejected the industry norms, and I went on to figuring out a system to replace just hard work. I did that, and my system made it simple and methodical and certain and even easy for me to sell over 500 homes a year. In the first 14 months, using the very first version of my system, I went from working like a crazed person, but still broke and confused, to selling over 200 homes and making millions of dollars in GCI. Now, since then, my system's been refined and improved, including by real-world use and feedback from over 30,000 real estate agents in my top coaching groups. Simply put, this works. Now, I've modified it yet again to be crash and recession-proof too. Shouldn't you at least investigate this for yourself? Click the button now.